Welcome to the Bliss Out Queen podcast for the spiritually curious who are committed to revolutionizing their life and the world. Through this podcast, you will learn how to evolve your life and intentionally create from a grounded and soul-aligned place. I call this the Bliss timeline, a reality where you are living in a flow state, abundant and balanced with your heart, soul, and natural rhythms. What I share will come from my own discoveries while exploring this timeline and learning how to develop it. If this sparks excitement in you, I encourage you to follow the podcast, share with a friend, and go on your own exploration of your Bliss timeline. Good morning. Today I'm sharing this podcast from my couch. I have a cup of coffee, and I'll admit coffee does tend to get me into more energy, and then I end up wanting to channel information and share information. So like teetering the line of, is this healthy or is this actually just part of my process? I don't know. So I'm sitting with coffee. I love this coffee. My dad makes it, and it's so good. Better than a lot of the coffee shops I've been to. He just knows how to perfect it. And I was sitting here, and today's focus has been on really relaxing into this energy of having everything already taken care of, being in this energy of this wealthy state where I don't have to hustle or do anything to experience the wealthy life, the rich life that I envision for myself, and that I'm like working through the beliefs, which ones are supportive and which ones are not. So that's what I've been in the middle of processing the last few weeks, and really honing in on my energy and my focus and what is the embodiment of that life that I have a desire for in my heart. So it's very much connected to like a soul aligned path for me. And so in that time that I'm today is like in relaxing, and more so it's like really nuanced. You can physically be relaxing or in your pajamas or whatever, but it's in the nuance of your thoughts and your energy, and where is the very quiet, subtle thoughts going, and which ones are empowering you into the embodiment that will help you manifest the life of your desires. So a thought came up to me about how I'm not physically doing anything like the person that I learned all this from, and is an inspiration for me to continue digging deeper into manifestation in my own way, is Manifestation Babe. She has an awesome podcast. You should check it out. And so I was coming to sit down on the couch to enjoy a cup of coffee and watch a YouTube video. I've been enjoying watching YouTube videos of this person who, it's very simple. She lives in Europe. She moved there. She loves designer handbags. She loves getting coffee. It's just very, it's bringing me into having more access to people who aren't necessarily hustling for the luxurious, wealthy lifestyle that they live. They stay at nice hotels. So just exposing myself to people who are engaging in the world that I am going to be engaging in is something I enjoy doing, and helps part of my like visualization and connection with what it is that I'm manifesting. So anyways, I came over to the couch to sit down and do that. And for a moment I was like, I had a quiet thought, and I was like, oh, but you're not actually doing anything like Catherine was to like create this. And then I reminded myself that, yeah, but that's not the life that is aligned for me. And so you can so easily, and I feel like this is something that I've been layer by layer peeling back of what is it that I desire, and what is it that what is it that I might be convincing myself I desire because it's what other people are doing and how they've had their success and their best life and their like most expressed life. And slowly but surely, layer by layer, it really is down to, no, I don't desire to be a CEO. It doesn't really light me up the way other things light me up. And it's not the only way to create this life that I desire for myself. So instead, I'm like reminding myself that that was her heart's desire and mine is different. Mine is more aligned with this, like, almost like I've already done the work. I've already been here like a gazillion times. My soul is very old. It's lived many lifetimes. And I'm like reminding myself that this is my lifetime to simply be. And you don't have to earn it by working hard, but at the same time it feels like I earned it. Like I've put in so much intention, so much thought, so much energy into rewiring myself, into like finding the solution to live this life that I've dreamt of for a while. And also in general, like my past lifetimes, I've gone through a lot of challenge and difficulty and very painful experiences that I'm currently healing and processing now. And it's not easy. It's very difficult. It's very painful. It brings you to dark places. And I feel like I get to enjoy my life. And I'm taking away and alchemizing this feeling of guilt for that, because I think, would you want someone to keep themselves in a place of suffering and pain just because they might feel guilty? Like someone that you care about, because they feel like others aren't having that life, so they shouldn't. I think it's like the misfocus. Like, actually, what if we all lived up to our heart's desires and believed in what it is that we truly want and lived it? Like, what if we were all living in this alignment with our higher selves, alignment with our soul, and alignment with our body? I feel like that would actually help to bring us closer to our hearts and more into a place of unity and peace between people, because we would be more aligned with our relationships. And when we are being more honest and true with ourselves about what is an interaction that feels nourishing and good for us, I think our lives would shift a lot. And maybe there's guilt, feelings of guilt, that we don't line up with some of the people in our life. But also, if we are being honest with ourselves, it's only going to benefit the other person, because not everyone is for everyone. And it doesn't mean that anyone is less or more than. It just means that some people just vibe differently. And I think that's something else that I'm learning to accept and also use as my guiding focus as I'm shifting my life from the inside out in this moment, is to be okay with that and allow my circle to evolve, just as I'm evolving. Just as they're evolving, their circle will evolve as well. So all of this came through from some coffee and some, just one little moment thought. I'm going to take a sip. And all of this ties back to the central theme of this podcast, which I haven't yet decided if the whole podcast is going to be called Bliss something, or if this is just a segment. But I'm really here just because I listened to my intuition and was like, I heard the message, make a podcast. And I'm like, okay, what is it about? And they're like, why don't you talk about the things that you started talking about when you first started your business, which was Bliss. So now I'm on that journey, and I'm just kind of following step by step what it feels right and seeing what unfolds. It's kind of like how I make art. I like choose a color, whatever I feel drawn to, and put it down on the paper, and whatever my hand feels drawn to do is like what I follow. It's kind of like a higher version of something else is taking over, and I'm just like there for the ride. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And then I add another color, and at the end, the piece, when it feels complete, I like stand back and I see what it is, and then I get to experience it as like an individual, not as the person that created it, because it has its whole own meaning and message and like information that is something I continue to discover as I look at it over days. And I feel like that's what this podcast is like, it's evolving. I'm discovering along with you what this is. I haven't posted anything yet as I'm recording this. I think it's going to all happen at once. And I'm excited for you to be along in this journey, and I hope that you're having a great day. And Bliss is really about alignment. I think that's ultimately what the focus is, and I'm excited to share as my life shifts more about how this alignment is coming into fruition. All right, so for now, I'm going to continue drinking some coffee and watch this video, and I hope you all have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that was a lovely episode for you, and you gained some sort of wisdom or aha moment or activation for your own journey and life. And if you'd like to connect further, you can go to my website, erikajulia.com. It's ErikaJulia. And there you'll find also a blog where I share a lot of writings on similar topics. And also, if you feel really inspired by this episode, please leave a review and share it with a friend. And those two things would really help this podcast get to more people and more hearts and more ears, more minds, more bodies. So that would be really helpful. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here.